The false nine is a player that is somewhat relatively modern in terms of football. However, it has gained much popularity over the past decade due to how dominant someone can be in this position. The false nine is exactly what it says it is. It is a number 9 player on the pitch that does not typically act as a 9. The false nine rarely, if ever, tries to run the channels and play on the last man. Their job is simply to always play with their back against the goal and always look to be the focal point of attack. They will drop as deep as possible to help link the midfield with the forwards to aim to start attacking movements. When a false nine is employed, typically clubs will have 2 inside forwards beside the false nine, and even some midfielders who like to push forward into space. The false nine is such an odd position, making it very hard to defend against. An opposition has to figure out a game plan that will suit defending a false nine, and there are hardly any real ways to stop an elite false nine. Because of how versatile and skilled you have to be a great false nine, most teams fall short in stopping the absolute dominance of someone in this position. The false nine gathered its popularity when one of the greatest managers of our era decided that the greatest player of all time was too talented for the wing and would have been double marked from the 10. Pep Guardiola saw some examples of how some managers deployed their 9 as more of a passing option, and he wanted to capitalize on it. He deployed Lionel Messi as his false 9 at Barcelona in the 2010-2011 Barcelona season. In the next 2 seasons, Lionel Messi would be the most dominant player in the world. The first season in the false 9 role, he scored 43 goals and 22 assists in all competitions. In his final season under Pep, the 2011-2012 season, he scored 64 goals and assisted 21 in all competitions. His insane production from this role led to its amazing popularity that many clubs saw and wanted to implement into their sides. The next biggest example of a false 9 player who had lots of success in this position has to be Roberto Firmino at Liverpool. Firmino came to Liverpool from Hoffenheim in 2015 as more of a 10, not necessarily a 9. When Klopp arrived, he had the idea to utilize Bobby's excellent dribbling and passing abilities and decent finishing, making him a false 9. In the false 9, Bobby exploded onto the scene. Jurgen's 4-3-3 system was a perfect system to implement the false 9, as he wanted the inside forwards ahead of him to flourish. When Klopp finally brought in the Egyptian king Mo Salah, Firmino had his best season in the false 9 position. With Mo Salah and Sadio Mane working as inside forwards next to him, it allowed him to drop deep, looking for passes from the midfield and set up his attacking teammates. This season he scored 26 goals and assisted 16 in all competitions, showing his insane talent in this position. An excellent false 9 can really make a difference for his team, but they are few and far between. When Maurizio Sarri joined Juventus after a decent Chelsea campaign, he wanted to bring his Sarri ball techniques to Juventus. His typical 4-3-3 heavy pressing and complicated passing system was brought there, and here he also employed a false 9. Sarri decided to implement Paulo Dybala into the false 9 position, as he had all the attributes and the skill to do it. This season Dybala would be sensational, where he would win the Serie A most valuable player that season. Dybala was perfect in this system, as he continuously set up his inside forwards next to him, and also the midfield that was pushing forward with him. He would have an excellent season, scoring 16 goals and assisting 10 in all competitions. He may have not been as dominant as Messi or Firmino, but he is another example of a player dominating in the false 9 position.